I think at this point enough time has passed. Can we all come to the circle and agree that this was a serve? He devoured this. This was incredible. He really didn't need to do all of what he did with this performance. In fact, he shouldn't have. He shouldn't have. That fucking busted ass crowd did not deserve this. These fucking lames here, they did not deserve to be in the presence of such high art. Just maybe a bit too ahead of his time. The audience really just couldn't compute it. They couldn't comprehend the artistry, the excellence that was in front of them. If he would have brought this magnum opus to any sort of like performance art school or institute today, they would have ate it up. They would have been taking turns sucking off his nose afterwards. This was groundbreaking. Top 5 reasons why Mr. Krabs should be cancelled. Number 5, Mr. Krabs is literally the textbook definition of a manipulator and a gaslighter. Take, for example, when he gave SpongeBob his wallet and instructed him to go buy extensive gifts for Mrs. Puff, and then yelled at SpongeBob the moment he would return with exactly what he asked him to purchase. He intricately crafted a situation where he was forcing SpongeBob to perform labor for him with no extra pay, and then emotionally abusing SpongeBob for doing exactly what he told him to do. Not to mention, he did all of this with the ambition of love-bombing Mrs. Puff and manipulating her into a serious relationship when she made it very clear she was not ready for one. She hadn't yet recovered from the loss of her husband. Number 4, he intentionally drove Plankton to the brink of suicide. After discovering that Plankton had a fear of whales, Mr. Krabs began dressing up as his daughter just to scare Plankton for no reason other than his own amusement. He quickly drove Plankton into a state of depression and fear to the point he couldn't even leave his house. And upon discovering that Plankton was actively attempting suicide, Mr. Krabs laughed. This is pretty low down, even for you, Eugene. Number 3, he is both transphobic and misogynistic. For example, in this episode where he tells SpongeBob that he looks like a girl in that hat. Let me ask you a question, Eugene. What does looking like a girl like? Does SpongeBob have to meet some sort of conventional standard of masculinity to prove the fact that he is a man? And so what if he even does look like a girl? It's not up to you to decide how people should identify and how people should present themselves. And there's also the time where his daughter redecorated the Krusty Krab and he got upset that she made it too girly. Sounds like misogyny to me. Number 2, he actively exploits his workers and underpays them. In fact, not only does Mr. Krabs underpay his employees, he starts them out at a wage where they are paying him to work at his establishment. And not only is this very much illegal, but it also proves that he sees his employees as liabilities. He doesn't even want them there. He only has them there because he has to have them. The moment he sees an opportunity to cut some labor, he fires them, only to rehire them the moment he realizes he's too incompetent to do anything himself. And finally, at number 1, he was literally a pirate. I think it goes without saying that Mr. Krabs was pillaging villages, attacking people, and stealing money. In fact, this is how he initially even got the money to start his exploitative food monopoly of Bikini Bottom. He pried it from the hands of people who earned it. In conclusion, we all need to make sure we are unfollowing Mr. Krabs on all social media platforms and not eating at the Krusty Krab. He needs to be deplatformed. Deadbeat. Low down ass, lazy ass, no dick in the pants, no money in the bank, no job on the resume, no brain in the head, and that head is shoved up your ass, certainly not the head of any household. And let me spell this out for you very clearly, Mr. Star, because it's obvious you have trouble understanding. SpongeBob didn't need you to do the shit you did. SpongeBob let you play the man. SpongeBob let you come in and try to do the part. SpongeBob quit his job and became a stay-at-home father because he knew your ass wasn't gonna put in the work at home, and he allowed you the opportunity to go out and be the breadwinner and have the other end of this deal. And you left his ass out there to drown. You left him in the middle of the Pacific, sinking to the bottom. And you want to come home in the middle of the night with a goddamn lampshade on your head pretending you have no idea what the problem here is? And then when SpongeBob finally clocks your ass and you've been sitting at home watching TV this whole time, you said you were working overtime, you want to gaslight him and play the victim and act like he's the reason all this broke down the way it did. No, motherfucker, it was all you. SpongeBob, don't you ever think about having another child with this Scott Disick ass motherfucker again. I don't care who it is. Sandy, Squidward, hell, even Plankton. They're all gonna be a better co-parent for you than this blob of shit ever will be. Just because I call out SpongeBob when he is doing things wrong to other people does not mean that I hate him or that I can't see when he is being victimized. For example, when SpongeBob is antagonizing Squidward, causing public damage, destroying the entire city, being a bad friend to Patrick, being a bad owner to Gary, I will call him out. Because when somebody is in the wrong, it should be pointed out that they are in the wrong. However, that doesn't mean that he's always in the wrong. A lot of the times he's in the right. Sometimes he is on the other end of the victimization. And it's the same with every character. I'll get on Patrick's ass too. I'll definitely get on Mr. Krabs' ass. I'll even get on Squidward's ass sometimes because they all fuck with each other and do bad things to one another. And it's all because SpongeBob SquarePants is a show that perfectly exemplifies the idea that no person is all good or all evil. So multiple people have requested that I chime in on the girly teen girl discourse that has been happening as of late. As some of you may know, if you've been following me for a very long time, about a year ago, I made a video about girly teen girl. I said some very rude, nasty things about her. I was attacked by her fans. I apologize. That was a whole saga, but we're good now. However, I do have some thoughts. And let me just iterate. What happened to girly teen girl this night? It was terrible. It was inarguably tragic. It was offensive. I feel so sorry. My heart goes out to her. But we're not focusing on what we're really needing to focus on here. I've seen a lot of people taking this opportunity to attack Pearl. I've seen a lot of people attacking her size, her nose, her looks, her outfit, everything about her. And let me just say, Pearl is not the person who needs the brunt of the criticism here. Pearl had every reason to think that girly teen girl was SpongeBob in drag because girly teen girl looks exactly like SpongeBob. And before any of you start calling me racist, which was another criticism, believe it or not, I was facing when I first addressed this topic, not all sponges look exactly like this. You see SpongeBob's parents, they don't look like this. Girly teen girl and SpongeBob look pretty much exactly the same. And on this evening where SpongeBob was repeatedly trying to sneak into the slumber party to spy on Pearl because Mr. Krabs was forcing him to, she had every reason to think that this was just another trick. Pearl Krabs, the Pearl Krabs that I know, that I love, would never do something like this intentionally. If Pearl knew that this was really just some lonely girl who needed friends, I fully believe that Pearl would have just allowed her into the slumber party, but Pearl had every reason to be suspicious once again. The real reality of the situation is that girly teen girl was set up. And the real culprit is one of these bitches over here. This is the only way that any of this adds up because what happened to girly teen girl this night was far more than a coincidence. One of these bitches knew that Pearl was on edge, was suspicious of SpongeBob, knew that girly teen girl looked exactly like SpongeBob, and knew that this would be Pearl's reaction if she saw girly teen girl show up to the slumber party. One of these bitches texted girly teen girl the deets, the address, and said, "Pull up, we'll let you into the slumber party," knowing full good and well that Pearl was gonna think that she was SpongeBob and beat the fuck out of her. It's the only way any of this adds up. One of these girls had an active vendetta against girly teen girl, wanted to run her out of town, and knew the number one way to do it would be to humiliate her like this, and that's exactly what they did, and it's absolutely fucking despicable. I don't know which of you bitches is responsible, but trust, we will find you and you will be dealt with. Okay, so apparently this little red heart on Pearl's snout is lipstick. I had no idea considering it's not anywhere near her lips. And now y'all are gonna make me get on Pearl's ass, cause what the fuck? Your lips are down here! Why would you put, that's like if I took lipstick and I put it here, like on the base of my fucking nostrils. Like, why would you do this? I always thought that was like a tattoo or something. There's no way, how do you missed the fucking mark? Were you even looking in the mirror when you put it on? Lipstick goes on your lips. Also, how are you just gonna use this little tiny heart as your lipstick when you have this big ass mouth? Girl, your mouth is the size of fucking Denver. How do you just have this, oh, this dot will do the trick? No! Personally, I'm not convinced. I'm gonna choose to believe that's a tattoo because there's no, whales shouldn't wear lipstick. Why would, a whale has a big ass mouth that cannot be, you're gonna use an entire tube to put on one fucking day's worth of lipstick. There's no reason a whale should be wearing it. Fishes are fine, sponges are fine. I think a bikini bottom, we have limitations, and whales should not be wearing lipstick. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I could possibly surmise my hatred, my disdain, my disgust for this piece of shit right here. This blithering, rancid, soulless, basement-dwelling succubus that mutated from the sewers of rock bottom. This worthless, tartar sauce-smelling, hyperventilating concoction of bacon grease and feces. Fuck you, bubble baths. How dare you? How could you? You humiliated this innocent sponge in front of everybody. You made him not remember how to make a Krabby Patty. You took one thing. You took away the one thing he loved most in this entire world. And for what? Because you didn't want to pay $2 for your fucking food? When I catch you, bubble bastard, I'm gonna slit open that fucking big ass stomach and dig out the guts. I'm gonna turn you into a bowl of fucking salmon stew and eat it. Then I'm gonna vomit it out into a toilet I just took a shit in. Oh, you motherfucker, I'm gonna fit SpongeBob. I'm so sorry, SpongeBob. If only I knew, I would have been there. I'm so sorry I couldn't be there for you, SpongeBob. I would have exposed that bubble bitch. I'd have reached inside his infected, unbrushed, nasty-ass mouth, and I would have pulled his tongue out so fucking far that his eyes came with it. I would have taken those pickles and shoved them down his fucking throat. So far that he choked and then blood came out. I would have strangled him to fucking death. Curse you, bubble bath. Bubble bath, you. SpongeBob. I'm so sorry, SpongeBob. I'm so sorry that this bacon grease motherfucker would do this to you, SpongeBob. I would have stopped him. I know I would. SpongeBob, are you? Am I okay? Am I okay, you ask? I've been sitting with this pain for 22 years. The moment I popped out of the womb, I knew I had one duty in life. And it was to murder this fucking green, ugly-ass fish right here. And you wanna ask me if I'm okay? I've never gotten the opportunity. I've never seen him. I've never met him. I've never had my chance to fucking strangle this goddamn fish with my 2 fucking paws. And you wanna ask me if I'm okay? No, I'm not fucking okay. Do I look fucking okay? I literally have a song called I'll Be Okay where I insinuate I'm not gonna be fucking okay. So you go ask somebody else if they're gonna be fucking okay, cause I'm not fucking okay.